Living with narcolepsy and cataplexy, explained for people who have never felt it. Narcolepsy isn't just being sleepy. That's the part people notice first, and the part they understand the least. The easiest way I can explain it is this. My brain doesn't have a reliable on-off switch for wakefulness. The line between being awake and being asleep is blurred, unstable, and unpredictable, like a light switch that flickers instead of clicking cleanly into place. What most people think narcolepsy is. Most people imagine narcolepsy like this. Someone suddenly falls asleep mid-sentence, like a cartoon. Then they wake up refreshed and go on with their day. That version is comforting because it's simple, visible, and temporary. But that isn't how it works for me. What it's actually like. For me, narcolepsy is more like being trapped in a body that's running on emergency power. Imagine being awake, fully conscious, but your energy, coordination, and mental clarity are draining away anyway. You're still there, you can hear everything, you know what's happening. But your ability to respond is fading. It's like your phone is at 1% battery, stuck in power-saving mode, while everyone around you expects full performance. That's what makes it so hard to explain. I often look awake even when I'm not functional. Preserved awareness, awake but not able. One of the most confusing parts of my condition is that I often don't lose consciousness. I don't always fall asleep. I don't always collapse instantly. Sometimes I'm just stranded. Imagine your body pulling the handbrake while your mind stays online. I can be aware, thinking clearly and still unable to keep my eyes open, respond quickly, stand safely, speak fluidly, or protect myself from falling. From the outside, that can look like laziness, disinterest, avoidance, stubbornness, or not trying hard enough. From the inside, it feels like being trapped in a body that won't obey. Cataplexy, when emotion cuts the power. Cataplexy is different, but connected. The simplest way to explain cataplexy is this. Strong emotion can momentarily switch my muscles off. Not because I'm overwhelmed emotionally, but because my brain misroutes emotion into sleep paralysis. Laughter, surprise, stress, confrontation, pressure, even being put on the spot can cause sudden weakness, loss of muscle tone, collapse, or partial paralysis. And again, I'm usually conscious when it happens. That means I don't just fall. I experience the fall. I feel the floor. I feel the impact. I feel the frustration and humiliation and fear, all while being unable to stop it. Why I don't look narcoleptic. For most of my life, I didn't look like what people expect narcolepsy to look like. That's because my body learned to compensate. I lived on adrenaline. Adrenaline can mask narcolepsy symptoms, temporarily. It can make you look alert. It can make you push through. It can make you seem high-functioning. But adrenaline is not energy. It's an emergency signal. Living that way is like driving a car permanently in the red zone. Eventually, the engine fails. That's what happened to me. My history, trying harder, didn't fix it. For years, I believed the same thing everyone else did. If I just try harder, I'll be fine. So I adapted. I pushed. I overperformed. I ignored warning signs. I structured my life around bursts of effort followed by crashes. From the outside, it looked like inconsistency. From the inside, it was survival. I could function briefly, then I would crash hard, then I would rebuild, then repeat. Over time, those crashes got worse, more dangerous, more destabilizing. Eventually, trying harder didn't just stop working, it became unsafe. That's when I lost things. Work, housing, transport, stability, and my sense of being believed. The social cost, being misunderstood. One of the hardest parts of living with narcolepsy and cataplexy isn't the symptoms themselves. It's how people interpret them. People often assume, if I look awake, I must be fine. If I spoke earlier, I should be able to speak now. If I did something yesterday, I should be able to do it today. If I explain myself, I must be exaggerating. What they don't see is that my capacity is time-limited and fragile. I don't have a full day to spend. I have a window. Once that window closes, pushing through doesn't build character, it causes harm. Relationships under strain. Narcolepsy quietly tests every relationship. It asks, will you believe me when I say I'm not okay? Will you stop engaging when I'm clearly fading? Will you accept limits without taking them personally? Not everyone can. Some people get disappointed, some get frustrated, some think I'm withdrawing, some think I'm not trying. Over time, I've learned that protecting my health sometimes looks like distancing myself, not because I don't care, but because I do. How I live with it now. Now I live differently. I no longer measure my worth by consistency or output. I measure it by safety, sustainability, and honesty. I respect my limited functional window. Plan around energy, not expectation. Avoid environments that ignore my signals. And choose calm over chaos. I don't hide my condition anymore, but I also don't perform it for people who won't listen. I've learned that rest is not failure, boundaries are not selfish, and survival is not laziness. How it feels emotionally. Living with narcolepsy and cataplexy has taught me humility, not because I lack strength, but because strength alone isn't enough. There's grief in losing what effort couldn't save. There's anger in not being believed. There's relief in finally understanding what was happening, and there's peace in no longer fighting my own body. I don't want pity, I want understanding. Not sympathy, clarity. The one thing I wish people understood. If there's one thing I want people to know, it's this. Narcolepsy isn't about sleep. It's about unreliable wakefulness. And cataplexy isn't about emotion. It's about misfired biology. I'm not choosing this, I'm managing it. And every day I do that honestly, thoughtfully, and with more resilience than most people will ever be asked to show.